Hi, Nana. So today we will learn the question bank related to chemical changes and reactions. So this is the continuation of our previous videos. Okay. So now we will discuss about the 11th question and answer. Okay. Right. So the 11th question, according to 11th question, we have to complete the following word equations. Word equation. A word equation is given, so only half of the word equation is given. We have to complete that word equation. Okay, so by writing down the products, so products are not given, we have to write the products. So first option A, so in the option in the first question A, so it is like this: red hot iron and steam. So what is the reaction between these two? So when steam is passed over red hot iron, what happened? It forms a magnetic oxide of iron. It forms what? Magnetic oxide of iron. So we have to know this one. We have to know this reaction. What happens when steam is passed over red hot iron? So we should know. In order to complete this equation, we have to know this thing. So after knowing this thing, so now we can complete this equation with our knowledge, so that we can finish this equation. So magnetic oxide of what? Magnetic oxide of iron, and along with this hydrogen gas is liberated. Okay, along with this hydrogen gas is liberated. So this is the complete equation. So that means these are the products. What are the products? Magnetic oxide of iron and hydrogen. So this equation is said to be word equation. This is not a chemical equation. Simply it is a word equation. So if we want to convert this word equation into chemical equation, so then we have to use symbols and formulas. So this is not a chemical equation, it is simply a word equation. If I want to convert this word equation into chemical equation, then I have to write the same thing, all these things in the form of symbols and formulas. For example, red hot iron. So iron. So what is the chemical here? Iron plus steam. Steam means water. Okay. Gives rise to magnetic oxide of iron. What is the magnetic oxide of iron? Fe3O4. Fe3O4 is the magnetic oxide of iron plus hydrogen. So if you write the same equation by using symbols and formulas, then it is said to be chemical equation. This is what? This is word equation. The same chemical reaction, if you express by using the words, then it is said to be word equation. If a chemical reaction is represented by using symbols and formulas, then it is said to be chemical equation. So this is chemical equation, and this is what? Word equation. So we are dealing only with word equation. So the question, it is related to only word equation. So here no need of writing chemical equation. Okay, right. So here only this part is given, and we have to complete this equation. We have to complete the word equation by writing the products. Okay. So now the second part of this question is, the other part of this question is B, option B. So here in the second, in the B question, copper oxide is given. Copper oxide, when it is reacted with the carbon monoxide. So carbon carbon monoxide. So what happens? Copper oxide when reacted with carbon monoxide, so this carbon monoxide is a reducing agent. Generally remember that, always remember that carbon monoxide is a reducing agent. That means generally carbon monoxide will try to convert into carbon dioxide by taking oxygen. Okay, so carbon monoxide always want to become into carbon dioxide by taking oxygen. So copper oxide, actually this is copper oxide. Copper oxide is ready to lose oxygen. So what happens? So this oxygen is taken by this carbon monoxide to form carbon dioxide. And what is left over here? Only copper is left over. Okay. So that means this one, when reacted with this one, so oxygen is taken by carbon monoxide and it will convert into carbon dioxide and copper. Okay. So that means this is a chemical equation. But chemical equation is not, here it is no need of writing chemical equation. So in the question it is asked to complete the word equation only. So that means this is the word equation, we have to complete it. So in the question, simply it is given like this. Two reactants are given, we have to write the products. So when these two react with each other, so what are the products formed? One is carbon dioxide and another one is copper. Okay. Right. Next one is sodium hydroxide solution plus aluminum plus water. Sodium hydroxide solution. Sodium hydroxide solution plus aluminum plus water. So what happens when these are mixed? Sodium hydroxide solution plus aluminum plus water. So see, remember that aluminum, it's a metal. Aluminum metal can react with a base. Sodium hydroxide solution is a base. Only very few metals can react with bases. Okay, so here this is aqueous solution. Water is present. So aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide. So when aluminum metal is added to aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide, what happens? So this will liberate hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas is liberated. Hydrogen gas is liberated, and what is left over? So the leftover is substance is sodium aluminate. Okay, it converts into sodium aluminate and hydrogen. So now this is the word equation and these are the products. What are the products? Sodium aluminate and hydrogen. So if you write this one in the chemical equation form, what is the formula of sodium hydroxide? NaOH, okay, aluminum and water. So this is called as a NaOH and water. It is an aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide. Okay, now it forms sodium aluminate. What is the formula of sodium aluminate? NaAlO2 and hydrogen gas is liberated. Okay. So how many two hydrogens are there here? Here also, so how many? Only one hydrogen. Suppose if I write 2 here, it forms 2Na, okay, 2Al and O2 plus O2. Simply 12. So altogether 4 3H2. Okay. Na, Al. How many oxygens are there? 4. Okay, right. So this is the chemical equation of this chemical reaction. Okay, when this is the word equation, this will become the chemical equation of that chemical reaction. So here, no need of writing chemical equation. So here we are dealing only with the word equation. Okay, so no need of writing this one. But these are the products. We have to complete this equation by writing the products. Okay, right. Next, what is the next one? The next one is sodium hydroxide solution plus ferric hydroxide solution. So when these two solutions are mixed, okay, so what happens? So when these two solutions are mixed, it forms sodium chloride and ferric hydroxide. Sorry, it is ferric chloride solution. So now this sodium will take chlorine and iron will take hydroxide. So it forms sodium chloride. Okay, sodium chloride and ferric hydroxide. Ferric hydroxide. Okay, ferric hydroxide. Okay, so these are the products, and this is the given question, and to solve this question we have to write the products. So if you write the same chemical reaction in the form of chemical equation, as this is not chemical equation, this is a word equation only, so I will write this word equation into chemical equation. Sodium hydroxide solution, so that means NaOH solution, okay, plus ferric chloride. What is the formula of ferric chloride? FeCl3 is the formula of ferric chloride. So here what happens? Both are in solution form. When both the solutions are mixed, what happens? Here double displacement reaction or double decomposition reaction takes place. Both the substances will exchange their radicals, and after exchanging their radicals, so they form new products. So sodium will take chlorine. Every sodium requires only one chlorine, but there are 3 chlorines. So that is why I write 3 sodiums. Okay. Now there are 3 OH. Every iron atom, every Fe plus 3, here iron is in the form of ferric. So every ferric ion, every ferric ion, every one ferric ion, it takes 3 chlorines. Okay, so like this it forms FeCl3. Okay, so this is a precipitate. It is an insoluble substance which is formed due to the reaction between these two substances. So this is an example for a double displacement reaction, or else it is also called as a double decomposition reaction. Okay, so now no need of learning about this chemical equation. This is a chemical equation, but this is word equation. So here the question is related to word equation. So no need of discussing about this chemical equation. Okay. So according to this word equation, so I mean we have to finish. We have to complete this word equation. So in the question only these two are given: sodium hydroxide solution and ferric hydroxide solution. Only up to this the question is given, and we have to finish that question, or else we have to tell what happens when these two react with each other? So these are the products. Okay, this is a precipitate. Okay, and this solution is formed along with that. So this is the complete word equation for this chemical reaction. So like this, different word equations can be completed. So in this fashion. Okay, right. So now let us learn the next question. Let us discuss the next question. Next question is 12th question. It goes like this. So according to 12th question, state what will be observed and write a chemical equation when lead nitrate is heated in a test tube. So that means here we have to heat lead nitrate in a test tube and we have to say what you have observed. First of all, what is the formula of lead nitrate? Lead nitrate means PbNO3 taken twice. So it is a solid substance. So lead nitrate, it is in the crystals form. It is a white color crystalline substance. Okay, it is a white colored substance. So these are the crystals of lead nitrate, which is white colored substance. So I have taken test tube. I have taken a test tube. Okay, I have poured this lead nitrate into this one. So which is a white colored substance. So after pouring lead nitrate into this one, then start heating this one. So now this is heated. So during heating of this lead nitrate, the crystals of lead nitrate, when lead nitrate crystals are heated, what happens? So these crystals will break down. Okay, they will break down. They will decrypitate. What's the meaning of decrypitate? Okay, they will break down by making noise. So these crystals, the crystals of lead nitrate, they will break down into powder. Okay, these crystals of lead nitrate crystals, they will break down into powder upon heating this one by making crackling noise. Crackling noise means chitapata shabdam. So like this. So by making a crackling noise, so these crystals of lead nitrate will break down, and finally what happens? So powdery mass is formed. So this will convert into powder. Finally, so those crystals are converted into powdery mass. And during this process, what happens? Reddish brown colored gas is released, or the reddish brown colored gas, it is given out from this. So what is the color of this gas? Reddish brown colored gas. That means lead nitrate when heated, what happened? So this is the reactant. So generally reactant should be written in left side. So I am writing like this. Lead nitrate when heated strongly, what happened? This will give off the reddish brown colored gas. What is the reddish brown colored gas? Already we have learnt a practical chemistry. So in that practical chemistry it is given as like this. The lead colored gas is nitrogen dioxide. So it gives off reddish brown colored gas. Okay, so what is that reddish brown colored gas? Nitrogen dioxide. And here the crystals are converted into powder. These crystals will break down. That means this substance will break down into powder. So what is the powder? The powder is lead monoxide. It is called as lead monoxide. Actually, this lead monoxide, it is leftover. So what is what is leftover here? The leftover substance is called as residue. Generally, any substance, the leftover substance after a chemical reaction, it is said to be residue. So here, what is the residue? So this is the residue. Okay, this is the residue. What is the residue? Lead monoxide is the residue. Lead monoxide. Okay, if you see the lead monoxide, it is a brown. It is reddish brown. It is a reddish brown. A reddish brown powder is left over. This is what? Reddish brown gas. This is reddish brown gas. So this gas is released. Okay, this gas is evolved, and this is it will be removed from that test tube. So along with this reddish brown gas, so even oxygen gas is also formed. Oxygen gas. Okay, so that means oxygen gas, it is a colorless gas. So we cannot identify that oxygen gas is liberated along with this, because the test tube, now the test tube is filled with reddish brown colored gas. Along with the reddish brown colored gas, NO2 gas, okay, so even oxygen gas is also formed. So how to identify whether oxygen is not formed or not? So there is a test for oxygen. What is a test for oxygen? If you bring any glowing splint, glowing or else wood splint, glowing wood splint, if you bring any glowing wood splint towards the okay, if you bring any glowing wood splint into this one towards the oxygen, what happens? This glowing wood splint, for example, this is a wood splint which is burning, but it is not having any flame. Simply it is glowing. Okay, it is glowing without any flame. Okay. Now if you bring this wood splint into the atmosphere of oxygen, so what happens? This oxygen will support the glowing, and in the presence of oxygen, this glowing wood splint will catch fire and it will produce flame. It gets relighted. So that means it produces flame, means it is getting relighted. Relighted. So when a wood splint relights, when a wood splint is relighted, that indicates that wood is when glowing wood splint is relighted, so it is indicating that so there is oxygen in its surrounding. So that means it is kept in oxygen. So now in this reaction, suppose if you bring this glowing wood splint into this test tube, now it is glowing. It is not having any flame, simply it is glowing. Okay. Now if you bring this glowing splint into this test tube, or else towards the mouth of the test tube, so this is the mouth of the test tube and this is the glowing wooden splint, so it is glowing red at this tip. So what happens? So these gases are evolved from the test tube. So now these gases, what are the gases evolving here? Nitrogen dioxide gas is evolving, and even oxygen gas is also evolving. So as oxygen gas is also present in this, what happens? The glowing wood splint, it will relight. That means it catch flame. Now this will produce flame by relighting. The gas which relates a glowing wood splinter, okay, is said to be oxygen gas. So from this observation, we can say that even oxygen gas is also liberated along with the reddish brown colored nitrogen dioxide gas. So the color of oxygen, it is a colorless gas. Okay, oxygen is a colorless gas. So that means, so what are the products formed here? Lead monoxide, which is a reddish brown colored powder. Okay, reddish brown colored gas is evolved, and even oxygen gas is evolved. So oxygen gas can be tested by glowing wood splint, or else it is also called as glowing wood splinter. It is also called as glowing wood splinter also it is called. Okay. red. Splint or splinter. Okay. Splint means pulla. Okay. Right. So here what happens? What is the substance left over in the test tube? So this is the initial substance we have taken in the test tube, and when it is heated, it will break down by making a crackling sound. Breakdown means it will decrepitate by making crackling sound, and finally it is converted into powder, reddish brown colored powder. Okay, so reddish brown colored gas is evolved along with the reddish brown colored gas. Even oxygen gas is also evolved. Okay, so here if you observe this test tube slowly, so what happens? Initially it is now the test tube is in hot condition. So when the test tube is in hot condition, what happens? The residue means here, this is the residue. This is the leftover substance, okay, generally known as residue. So here what is the residue? Which chemical is the residue here? Lead monoxide is the residue. See, the lead monoxide, the color of lead monoxide is reddish brown color when it is hot. Slowly remove this one. So after completion of this chemical reaction, just take out this flame, now stop heating. Okay, so all these things will be, they will escape into the atmosphere. Okay, now if you observe this one, this is initially when the test tube is hot, this lead monoxide also will be hot. It will be a reddish brown color. Slowly after cooling, what happens? The lead monoxide, initially the lead monoxide, which is reddish brown color, slowly it turns into yellow color. Okay, the color of the substance is changed, but the chemical is not changed. Still it is lead monoxide only, but the red color of the lead monoxide, it is turned into yellow color. So when it is cooled, okay, and that means when it is cooled, under cool condition, lead monoxide is yellow. The same substance, when it is hot, it is reddish brown color. So after cooling it, what happens? The yellow colored, the residue changes to yellow color on cooling. Okay, the residue, this is the residue. Residue, what is the meaning of residue? The leftover substance of after a chemical reaction. Okay, after a chemical reaction, the substance which is left over is said to be residue. So this particular residue, which is reddish brown color when hot, it is turned to yellow color, okay, on cooling. Okay, so, and remember that you can remove this one after this one, so you clean it. But after cleaning, what happened? Some part of the residue, it will fuse, it will melt, and it will fuse into the glass. Okay, so this will fuse into the glass. Fusing means it will it will become the part of the glass. Okay, so we cannot remove the other this part. So most of the lead monoxide this powder we can remove by washing, but some part of the lead monoxide still it cannot be removed. It will fuse with the glass. That means this part of the glass, when it is heated, what happens? It will absorb some amount of lead monoxide. So that means lead monoxide is fused into the glass. So hence it remains as this portion of the glass, it remains as yellow. That means the residue means here lead monoxide is a residue. So this residue will partly fuse into the glass. Okay, now the test tube, it will stain yellow color. That means it takes yellow color. So if you see the color of this portion of the test tube, it will be yellow in color. We cannot clean this. Even after washing also, we cannot remove that yellow colored this fused part. Okay, so like this. So this is the observation. So what do you observe? When you heat this lead nitrate, which is white colored crystal, so what happened? It will break down, or else it will decrepitate by making crackling sounds, chitapata shabdalu, and finally it converts into a powder, so reddish brown colored powder known as lead monoxide. So it is a residue. What is residue? Residue means the substance which is left over after a chemical reaction is said to be residue. So along with the formation of this substance, so two gases are evolved. Okay, so we can observe the evolution of the gases. So one gas is reddish brown colored gas, and another gas is oxygen gas, which is a colorless. And oxygen gas we cannot identify the test tube, but if you bring the glowing wood splinter into this test tube, what happens? It will relight. So from this it is understood that even oxygen gas is also evolved during this reaction. So after that, just stop cooling, stop heating and cool this one. So when it is cooled, what happens? The reddish brown colored lead monoxide, it will turn into yellow color. Okay, and some portion of this this residue will fuse into the glass. Okay, and it cannot be washed because it will become the part of the glass. So the portion of the glass which is fused with lead monoxide, so this will stain yellow. Okay, it will appear yellow color. Only this portion will appear yellow color. So that means the portion where this lead monoxide is fused into the glass will appear yellow, and all other portion it will appear as a transparent glass, colorless. Okay, so I mean, these are the observations we will notice when lead nitrate is heated in a test tube. So this is a required balanced chemical equation. So in the question it is observed that we have to write a chemical equation for this. So how to write the chemical equation? So this is not a balanced chemical equation. So if you put 2 here, okay, now it will become balanced chemical equation. Okay, so in this way we can explain this chemical reaction. Okay, right. So next, what is the next question? 13th question.